and I am seeing Boba Fett going to town on stormtroopers and crushing their helmets and creating confetti around a planet that looks like it could be in my backyard right now. And you are complaining about the fact that people are messing with the original trilogy? Are you out of your mind? Hey everyone, Adam and Andrew here with It Takes Two Takes. Thanks for joining. We are going to review episode 6 for season 2 of The Mandalorian. I did a reaction of the episode previously, so if you're here to see a reaction, I'm going to flash the card up for that as well. But really the purpose of this is to spend some time talking about what we just saw with episode 6, with chapter 14.
If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe.
Oh, right.
And like our videos. Before we dive too deep in this, we'd obviously love to get your feedback and comments and all that fun stuff. With that being said, I think it was a short, from my point of view, it was a short episode. Like I mentioned to you earlier when we were texting about this, was just the fact that the end credits started at 29 minutes. So if you figure recap, opening, credits, you're just over 25 minutes for the episode, which is barely longer than a sitcom episode. And I've
seen that before though with this.
Yeah, and I don't like it whenever they do it. I mean, honestly, we're gonna spend next episode with him doing a jailbreak, and you know, and then we got what, one episode left of the season for whatever wrap up they're gonna do. That's just telling me they're gonna leave it on a cliffhanger.
Hang on a second. Take all of the facts that you just spewed out of the picture for a second. Did you enjoy this episode?
I mean, it was all right. I
loved it, Adam. So here we go. First of all, I want to get into the fact that right away we move quickly into Mando calling Baby Yoda Grogu, which we were wondering how that was going to go, and Mando was very amused by it.
It was good, but then when he needs to get the kid's attention because the kid's surrounded by a force field, instead of using the word that always gets his attention, which is Grogu, he just kept saying, "Hey kid, hey kid, hey kid." Like if he says Grogu, the kid looks up and reacts. They set that up in the last episode and this episode, and then when he needs his attention the most, he doesn't actually say it.
I don't know that it would have worked or that it would have mattered.
I would have liked to have seen him try.
Exactly. I'll go with you on that one. Okay, fair. Fair.
And then on top of this, and this is maybe me nitpicking about the Boba Fett, they didn't do a good enough job of selling me why Boba Fett didn't get his armor back before now. He's obviously a badass fighter. He could have probably taken that marshal in that town if he had really wanted to.
Sure.
So why didn't he go get his armor back before now? And that bugged the hell out of me that all of a sudden he shows up in Slave One, which felt like pure fan service that had so many loopholes in it that it just annoyed the crap out of me.
There's a difference between loopholes and sort of, we're going to show you what we want to show you and not tell you.
I'm sure there'll be books and comic books that will fill in the gaps.
I know what you're saying. I know where you're going with this. I want to point out this. You were very annoyed in season 1 over the fact that they could not take their helmets off. You were very annoyed with the loopholes with that, yet somehow they made that work. I would think that there's an answer for that. And it wouldn't surprise me if for all we know, there's going to be an entire episode dedicated to Timmy Sex, aka Timothy Olyphant, talking to Boba Fett, talking to Mando. Who knows? I'm just saying it's too early to judge.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it next season because they're not going to leave the time probably this season for it, considering we'll get maybe a 30-minute episode next week of a jailbreak. After that, the final episode, we'll get the storming the where the Empire is with the child, and we'll leave with the cliffhanger. Like maybe the child doesn't want to wake up or something.
Hang on, we went from this season is so great to all of a sudden like Robert Rodriguez, like what did he do to you? Like what happened? This episode brought everything that I feel like it was leading to for this season in terms of, you brought Boba Fett in, you brought these dark troopers in. It was a chaotic episode. It was a fast-paced and yes, short episode. But a lot happened. I feel like that set up what is going to be going forward.
And then I guess another thing that hit me this week that probably should have hit me last week is, all right, Baby Yoda's going to do his little reach out with the Force, and some Jedi is going to show up to help train him. If it's not Ahsoka, I'm going to be really annoyed, because where the hell were all these Jedis when Luke could have used their help and the Rebels could use them help fighting the Empire? This is why I want Star Wars to stop playing in the same time frame. In my opinion, they screw up all this stuff with the original movies,
What are they
because
screwing up?
if you set up a movie, a major theatrical movie that says basically all the Jedi except for 2 are wiped out, and they're thought to be all wiped out, but all but 2 are wiped out, and then all of a sudden you keep secretly creeping in more Jedi, you know, you start asking all these questions like, well, where were all these Jedis? Well, people are asking this question, so we'll put that in a show and we'll make up an answer, or it'll be in a book, or it will be in a comic. We'll come up with an answer for you at some point. But it feels forced in some instances. And to me, in this episode, Boba Fett showing up all of a sudden, Slave One, wanting his armor after apparently a decent amount of time where he could have gone and gotten his armor, it felt like it was forced for plot and fan service, and that's what I think I'm starting to get more and more annoyed with this series, is how much of it's being done for fan service and how much of it's actually being done just to actually tell a good story.
I think there are very good stories happening in the show. I don't know what you're talking about. And 2, why weren't you asking this question when in that episode, in that first episode, when Boba Fett was looking down at them traveling back to the ship and turning around and walking away?
Well, because I
did angry in that moment.
Because I thought at some point he'd end up back on Tatooine is when we get back to this.
He had
this
Fennec
character
with him. There's clearly connections. He is a bounty hunter. He is resourceful. There's a reason. I promise you, there's a reason. Why are we even having this debate right now? How would that ruin the episode when we don't have the answer yet?
Because
I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing.
Because if they had added like 5 minutes to the episode and given an explanation, there wouldn't even need to be this. Like all it had to do was Mando to ask, "Why are you knew where the armor was? Why do you want it now?"
I think they know. And I think that's going to be answered. And I don't know when, and it's probably not to your liking. And I get it. That's fine. But listen.
You asked why I wasn't happy with this episode, and I'm just answering you honestly.
I know, and I'm going to put out there why I feel like I don't understand why you're not satisfied with this episode. Let's consider the balance here. I mean, we had an episode where Boba Fett was going to town on stormtroopers. We had an episode where Boba Fett was answering questions that Jango Fett actually was a Mandalorian. Like there was more Boba Fett answers and more Boba Fett anything than we ever got out of the original trilogy. And my point is, you say messing with the original trilogy. That's been messed with for a very long time. That's been messed with before there were any other films after the original trilogy. And now we have someone saying, hang on a second. There is an amazing universe here that's barely been tapped into. There's a character here that we have spent zero time and people are worshiping for whatever reason, other than the fact that they think bounty hunters are cool. Let's see that in action. And they made that happen. And we're sitting here in the year 2020 as I cannot leave my house without feeling like I'm going to get a virus that will murder my organs. And I am seeing Boba Fett going to town on stormtroopers and crushing their helmets and creating confetti around a planet that looks like it could be in my backyard right now, and you are complaining about the fact that people are messing with the original trilogy? Are you out of your mind? The answer is yes, Adam. This is amazing. Thank you for doing this. Whoever is behind this show, Robert Rodriguez.
Fine. They can do whatever. Apparently, you're happy. You were happy with first season when I was disappointed with the first season.
I was happy with the first season.
Right,
sure.
Which is fine. We're allowed to have different perspectives. You weren't bothered by the fact it was only about the length of a sitcom. Great. You weren't bothered by the fact that apparently Baby Yoda only uses the Force powers once he's captured and didn't bother to do it before he gets captured. You weren't overly bothered by the fact that he didn't actually try and use Grogu as his name to get his attention when he was surrounded by the Force field. You weren't bothered by the fact that Boba Fett shows up in Slave One, apparently been tracking them this whole time, but gives no explanation of why, after all this time, now he wants his armor back when he didn't apparently want the armor before. Right. And none of these things bother you because you figure that they'll magically all get explained.
It's going to be a lot of editing work for me, Adam. I just want to say that nothing's going to magically be explained. Listen, if certain things don't get explained, I will be irritated, but I'm not willing to be irritated just yet. I'm not disagreeing that there are things that, why are you doing this to me? Things that, why couldn't we spend a little bit more time with this episode? But from what I've seen with this series up to this point, I'm not ready to jump the gun. I'm not ready to.
I'm not going to say I'm going to stop watching it, but at this point, I'm annoyed with the episode.
Hang on. No one's saying we're stopping and watching it. I'm just saying I'm not ready to be this emotionally invested in anger over what I'm seeing until I see.
No, you're too busy being emotionally angered over my opinion of the episode.
I'm entitled to be able to say, hey, what you're saying to me, let's put things into my perspective. And this is how I look at it. What do you want from me? I'm going to escalate and get my word in. Like, what do you want? Like, it takes two takes. It's not always going to be, it takes two agreements.
Sorry, I think if they had put a little bit more time in the episode, I think it could have been better.
Are you telling me that let's just say the next episode, not magically, but by design, half? Let's not even go with ratios here. A number of the things that you're saying. Let's just say it leads into a lot of answers. Do you feel like it was wasted energy to be this upset about what you're talking about?
I think if the next episode, the only thing they explain or try to give an explanation to is why Boba Fett sat on the planet for so long, I don't think that's going to be enough to make me happy about the episode. I think there's enough.
That one thing. I'm just saying.
I think there's enough little things in this episode that I feel like was sloppy writing. I'm sorry.
You clearly have an investment in this opinion. I want that. But at the same time, so I can't have a burst of, hey, hang on, let me say something about this. And no one's insulting or attacking. I'm just saying, listen, I was impressed. I'm surprised by what you're saying. And here we go. Let's go at it. Why not?
We haven't had a good go at it type of episode on one of these things in a while. So I think it was last season.
About to turn off. There it is. There we go. All right, we're back. I don't even know where to begin now.
Well, what did you really like about the episode?
Okay, all right. I liked that I liked the fact that Boba Fett, they just got right to it. They explained pretty much the questions that I had in that first episode, which was, 1, is it Boba Fett? Answer, yes, it is. 2, it was Jango Fett a Mandalorian? Answer, yes, he was. 3, was the armor truly Boba Fett's, and is it deserved to Boba Fett? Also tied in with, is Jango Fett a Mandalorian? Answer, yes, it is his, and it should go back to him. And honestly, like, I liked the fact that I got to see Boba Fett actually do Boba Fett shit. Like, no one's seen that. Like, why are we, you know what I mean? Like, that was awesome. Like, and the fact that he wasn't even in his armor, and when he had his armor on, he fought like Boba Fett. Prior to have his armor on, he had that sort of curved staff thing that we've seen in the past that he actually was just like cracking skulls with, which was amazing. And then, by the way, he puts the little virtual boy, lens down in front of him and shoots down 2 Imperial ships. And by the way, hit the wrong one, which was amazing. And meanwhile, we've got Baby Yoda moments. We've got the fact that the Razor Crest is completely annihilated, which was a tease all season because nothing has gone well for that ship. And in the end, we basically have Moff Gideon and his Dark Troopers being involved in the apprehension of the child, which we knew was going to happen. By the way, we have Boba Fett joining Mando on a rescue mission. It's not just, oh, cool, it's Boba Fett. What's he going on? Good, he got his armor back. Good, see you later. Nice little toss off to Boba Fett being involved in the show. No, now he's part of the team. This is exciting to me. I want to see this happen from here on out. Like, what else could happen? And that's the whole point of the show to me, which is, yes, there is a universe that could be explored outside of the Skywalker saga. Yes, there's a universe that could be outside of Tatooine, blah, 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 blah. But what we have even up to this point is so rich that no one has fully explored its full potential and without, completely interfering with something. And I don't feel like it's quite done that. Like, so this is enjoyable to me. What I've seen up to this point, I'm having fun with. Can I nitpick? Yes, absolutely. Is it going to ruin this episode? Not yet. Look, there are certain things I hope they answer. And if they don't, will it bother me? Probably. And I'm not willing to make that decision just yet. We'll see. Standalone, though, what I saw in those 20-something minutes of actual runtime, I had a blast. Are you wrong for not feeling that way? I'm not saying that. But where I'm sitting right now, like, this is a treat, and I'm not going to take it for granted. Not that you are, but I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm enjoying it.
I don't think the episode's total crap. Let me be clear on that. Like I said, there was a lot of convenience writing in this that I found annoying, and it bothered me.
Is there anything you liked about this episode? Like, like tell me something that you enjoyed, because I feel like I need to connect with you on this one.
I enjoyed watching him crashing the helmets of the stormtroopers with the sand person staff. Again, we've never seen that actually used in any type of a fight. We just normally see the sand people holding them. The Tusken Raiders, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, getting confirmed that Boba Fett is good. Well, I want to see him used more and see how he goes. He was kind of a ruthless bounty hunter before, so I'm hoping they don't turn him into some sort of, likable anti-hero just because he's a popular with fans.
Do we really know how ruthless he was before, though? I don't think we got to explore him enough.
He was all about getting the money and all about serving Jabba the Hutt. He was definitely
mercenaries are mercenaries.
He was definitely set up as a bad guy previously. He wasn't necessarily a mercenary. He was just a bounty hunter that would work for whoever paid him the highest cost, which he had no scruples working for the Empire before.
No scruples for working Empire is different than working for the Empire, though. I know what you're saying. I feel like we're saying the same thing.
So, yeah, again, I want to see where the rest of the season goes, but yeah, I wasn't thrilled with this episode. And have fun editing this.
Oh my God! Don't even.
All right, final thoughts. Final thoughts. We disagree on this episode. You have the glasses half full opinion. I have the glasses half empty opinion in this episode.
Sure, I guess I'll take that mantle. That's fine. I mean, look, this episode is not the hill that I plan on dying on, but here we are. I'm just saying that I was entertained. I almost saw it as almost like a sort of a connective episode. Something it's going to lead to something bigger, but it had to happen. And instead of making it a climactic, whether it was the penultimate episode or the finale, I'm glad it didn't happen there. I had a fun time. It was fun, and that's it.
Until I ruined it.
Listen. This was fun at times. This was fun at times too. This was. And editing it will not be fun, but this was fun.
You're going to want to drink probably just listening to me rant about this again.
I might make a video of me just editing this video and drinking the entire time. Just getting worse and worse. Like, yeah, we're going to keep it.
Yep. If you have a different opinion than what we did, or if you agree with one of us and not the other, leave the comments below. Always welcome to the debate.
If you're actually watching the show Warrior, we're going to do a review of that. It's the final one for all we know. So check that out. Or if you've never seen Warrior, check out Warrior. I mean, who cares? I mean, at this point, you're watching our channel. You should be watching Warrior. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, you saw that in the beginning. If you're still here, I don't know why, but thank you.